Ever wondered how Japanese police make those flawless, lightning-fast U-turns without skipping a beat? Here's a wild stat. These pros can flip a 600-pound motorcycle in tighter spaces than most riders can manage on a scooter. Sounds impossible? Stick around because we're breaking down the exact technique they use, step by step. And trust me, once you see the secret move, you'll never look at U-turns the same way again. Let's get in. So, let's begin with what is a samurai U-turn. Well, it's not about slicing through traffic with a katana, though it does look just as smooth. This is the technique mastered by Japanese police riders to execute insanely fast, tight U-turns in minimal space, without ever losing balance or momentum. Unlike the typical slow, cautious U-turn most riders do, you know, the kind that makes you feel like you're about to tip over any second, this style is all about confidence, control, and crisp execution. And here's the twist. The move starts by doing the wrong thing on purpose, turning your handlebars in the opposite direction first. Wait, what? Yep. Sounds wild, but stick around, because this is where things start getting seriously fun and surprisingly effective. Let's break down how this ninja-level U-turn magic actually works. At first glance, it looks like the rider just snaps the bike around with superhuman balance, but it's all about how you start the lean. Unlike a regular U-turn, where you slowly ease the bike into the curve, the samurai U-turn kicks things off with counter steering. You briefly turn the handlebars the wrong way to force the bike to lean instantly. Think of it like pulling back a slingshot before letting it fly. That quick lean sets the stage, and then something cool happens. Your handlebars snap back into the correct direction, almost on their own, as you release the clutch. Seriously, it's like the bike wants to complete the turn for you. From that point, it's a smooth dance of throttle, clutch, and rear brake, all working in harmony, while you keep the handlebars at full lock. It might sound complex, but once you feel it click, you'll never want to go back to boring wide turns again. Now compare the normal U-turn versus samurai U-turn. Let's be honest, most riders do U-turns the normal way. Slow, careful, and kind of praying they don't tip over halfway through. You turn your head, ease the clutch, maybe drag the rear brake a little, and hope you don't need to put your foot down. It works, but it's clunky. Now, compare that to the samurai U-turn, and it's night and day. Where the normal U-turn waits for the bike to lean, the samurai version forces the lean instantly using counter steering. It's like comparing a casual stroll to a precision spin move in martial arts. Also, in a normal U-turn, you're doing all the work manually, handling the balance, the turn, the clutch, like juggling flaming swords. But in a samurai U-turn, you let the bike work with you. The handlebars snap into position, the lean comes fast, and the whole motion feels sharp, compact, and way more controlled. Bottom line, one feels like a beginner's drill, the other feels like something out of a high-speed police training video. Because it is. So, let's talk about the key secret, counter steering. Sounds fancy, but it's actually super simple. Before the bike turns, you momentarily steer in the opposite direction. Wait, what? Yep, turn left to go right, or right to go left. This quick move forces the bike to lean fast and hard, giving you that snappy motion Japanese police riders are known for. It's like flicking a switch that tells the bike, let's dance. And the best part? As soon as you release the clutch, the handlebars naturally snap into the turn like magic. You barely have to touch them. It feels weird at first, but once you try it, you'll never want to U-turn the old way again. Now we are talking about the thing that can make your U-turn like a pro. Throttle, clutch, and brake balance. Once the lean is initiated, the real control comes from how well you juggle the throttle, clutch, and rear brake. This trio works together like a well-rehearsed orchestra. The throttle keeps the engine alive and gives you the momentum to stay balanced. The clutch controls the power delivery. Stay in the friction zone to smoothly guide the bike without sudden jerks. And the rear brake, that's your anchor. Light pressure on it helps tighten the turn and stabilize the bike mid-lean. Get too heavy on any one of these, and you're either stalling, launching, or wobbling like a shopping cart. But when you strike the right balance, the bike glides through the U-turn like it's on rails. Left turn or right, same rules. Once you've got the control working in sync, here's some good news. You don't have to relearn the whole thing just because the turn is going the other way. Left or right, it's the exact same process. Same counter steer to initiate the lean, same clutch control, same rear brake finesse. A lot of riders overthink it and tighten up on one side, usually the right, because of the brake pedal or fear of tipping. But once your muscle memory locks in from practicing both directions, you'll feel just as confident leaning left as you do right. The beauty of the Samurai U-turn is its consistency. No matter which side you're turning, the bike reacts the same way, as long as you trust the process. But here is an even more important thing that will be a game changer and can reduce 50% chances of tip over. Let's talk about common mistakes to avoid. One of the biggest mistakes riders make when attempting the Samurai U-turn is skipping the counter steer, or doing it too timidly. Without that strong, quick lean at the start, the turn becomes wide and unstable. Another common issue is rushing the clutch release, which either stalls the bike or causes it to lurch uncontrollably. Some riders also lean their body too much or too little. Remember, it's the bike that needs to lean, not you throwing your whole body into the corner. And then there's braking too hard mid-turn, which can upset the balance and cause the bike to stand up or slide out. Staying smooth and committed is key. Most of these mistakes come from hesitation or overcorrection. Fix those, and your U-turns will tighten up like a pro's. Is this technique right for you? The Samurai U-turn might look advanced, but it's absolutely doable with a bit of practice and patience. If you're still building confidence at low speeds or struggling with wide, shaky turns, this technique can sharpen your skills fast. It trains coordination, control, and precision, all in one move. For newer riders, staying in the friction zone and easing into the counter steer will make the learning curve smoother. For experienced riders, it's a great way to tighten your technique and boost reaction time in tight spaces. Whether you're riding a lightweight commuter or a bulky cruiser, this method scales to your level, as long as you're willing to put in the reps. But knowing it's right for you is just the beginning. Because if you really want to master this move and make it second nature, there are a few key tips that most riders overlook, and skipping them could mean stalling, wobbling, or worse. So, here are final tips for mastering it. Mastering it doesn't happen overnight, but a few smart habits can speed things up. Start slow. Practice in an open parking lot with plenty of space, and focus first on getting that lean initiation right through counter steering. Keep your eyes up and head turned. Where you look is where you'll go. Use consistent throttle, stay in the friction zone, and apply just enough rear brake to control the roll. Don't fight the handlebars. Let them snap into the turn naturally after the counter steer. And, most importantly, don't rush the learning. It's okay if you mess up a few times. Every awkward wobble or stall is a step closer to mastering it.